Last time out on the M4J network, I built not one, not two, but 3 new heritage railways running on the map. Today we're leaving the world of steam behind and heading to Sanley to finally start running trains on the Sanley Bay Lines. This is the start of a railway revolution. Hey everyone, it's M4J here and welcome back to the M4J network here on openttd. We are here at Sanley. We are heading back to conventional rail. We are no longer worried about the lovely romantic days of steam. We're going a little bit more modern, and I say a little bit more modern because I think most of the trains we're going to be using today were designed in the 1970s. But as you know, this network is set in 1994-ish, just after the opening of the Channel Tunnel would have been in the UK, mainly so that we get to use the Eurostar on the high-speed lines. We could have used TGV actually and just done a little thing with that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The main thing is we're here at Sanley, and today we are going to be working on 2 projects. The first one's a big project, the second one's just a little project that's something I just noticed as I was observing the network just before starting recording this episode. So the first thing we're going to worry about is Sanley Central here. And we're going to be populating the Sanley Bay Lines. So the first one is this single track line here that circles around the bays and terminates down here at Sennley Harbour. The second comes out of Sanley Central, goes along this way, along this way, along this way, and down to this junction here, where it will then come this way and around and across to over here, where it joins up with the trams. The third one comes down to this junction and then comes this way, and is that that's a freight line. That's fine. Did I build this as well recently? No, well, I say recently, like 10 episodes ago or something. I'm sure I built this. Yeah, must have done. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, comes along like this and terminates down here at Flundtown Docks, which I think is going to have a ferry going over here to Sinbourne Bridge and beyond, especially up this river to all sorts of places along the map. We've got some airports as well that we're going to connect up at some point in the future. The second project is actually to do with airports. I want to build a freight terminal down here connected to this airport. The reason I want to do this is actually nothing to do with cargo. It's entirely to do with mail. We have planes flying here, there and everywhere. There's one there, for example. They have no mail on board. So were I to connect a mail terminal up, and I'm going to do it over here because it's near the hangars, so you can imagine that's where the planes would get loaded. It then means we can actually transport mail from Sanley, or at least this part of the map, right the way up to Guard City, because this plane from this airport here flies up to Kidinghatton, which is here. And then from here, we have planes that fly to Guard City Great Winfield. Of course, you're not where I want you to be. How do I guess you, or are you here as well? Oh no, you're here. And from here, I believe we have mail trucks, do we not? Or we have mail trains. Do we have mail trucks? Yes, you're mail, aren't you? Guard City Mail. Yeah. So we can actually connect mail up that way. So that's the plan for today. Let's get started then on the Bay Lines. So I've been looking at what trains I want running on the network here, and I think I've got some ideas. If I select, which one do I want? I want the slow depot, which is going to be this one. I might have to rename these, but we'll see. Scroll down. This is where the BR train set is awesome. We were a bit limited with heritage stuff last time out, but look at all the options we've got for electric trains. This is insane. Absolutely insane. So there was a few options that we had available. I was looking at some of these ones, which were built back in the 50s. Good capacity, can hold quite a lot of people. That's what good capacity means, Mark. And relatively fitting with the theme of the network here, which is the further out from Guard City and Bar City you get, the older the trains are. That's not to say that we won't have old trains operating through the city, but yeah, it's just to represent that sort of thing. So the 413s, the 412s, the 411s even are good options. I like the idea of the 413s for perhaps, although these are semi-fast, right? Yeah, these are semi-fast. Usage passenger, that's useful. Passenger. So yeah, that's where it's semi-fast passenger. So maybe these are commuter ones up above. Just looking. I thought I had an idea. Suburban passenger, 415s. Okay. I think that might be the one then. Designed in 1953. Has a capacity of 386 on a single unit, which is a 4-car unit. Yeah. Before we do that one though. So I think, yeah, I'm actually gonna write this down because I'm gonna forget. So we're gonna do each one of these. Where are we? Separately. So class 415 Sanley. No, not Stanley. Sanley Bay Lines. And then for the little shuttle, I was thinking a 507. Just a little 507 shuttling back and forth. How big are you? You're 3 cars, right? So we could in theory have 2 of these, but I think 1 is fine. 230 passengers on board each one. That's pretty good, I would say. So I'm going to go with that. Class 507 Sanley. That's Sanley, not Stanley. Shuttle Bay Line. Cool. Sanley Bay Line trains. Okie dokie. Just save that note. So that's just to remind me in case I do completely forget. We could go with a 508. That's got a capacity of 304. I just don't think this line here is particularly going to get that busy. Like right now, it looks like it's busy, but even here, there's only 100 and so passengers, and here, no passengers. So I don't think we need that many. Let's get a 507 then. And we're going to... I don't know if you know that, by the way, if you double click on a train in the purchase window, at least in JGR, it actually purchases it for you, which is quite useful. We are going to set this up. So I think this is all one thing. Looks like it's all one thing. Like so, and then here. Whoops, wrong button. There we go. Service. Far end. No loading, no unloading. This one far end. These two far end as well. This one no loading. And then this one no loading, no unloading. From here then, it's quite simple. It's here twice, and then it's down here. And then this one is also going to be far end. As for the speed limits, I think this is actually all done, isn't it? I'll be surprised if it isn't, but I'm starting to think it might not be. Oh yeah, that's not good. Alright, hang on. Turns out there's a bit more of a project here than I thought, which actually isn't a bad thing, to be honest, because I was worried at one point that we wouldn't have enough content for this episode. So I'm kind of glad that there is a little bit more going on here. So let's start off over here. These are the Bay Line platforms. So I'm going to make sure that these two share with that. I'm going to say if next order is over here, or if next order is here, or if next order is here. 10 miles an hour, 15 at the front. Yep. Okie dokie. So then somewhere around here, I guess this one needs to be set to 15. and this one needs to copy from that, and then we'll say if entry direction is from the back, then speed limit is 30. And then I think here I'm just going to put a little shunt signal, and we're basically going to have both of those things combined. So we'll copy from that one, and then we'll say if entry direction is from the front, then speed restriction 15. So I don't think any of these, they don't appear to be programmed, which is fine. No. The other thing I'm going to do is this one and this one. I'm going to share off each other, and you are deny. Whoops. If entry direction is from the front, then allow. There we go. So in theory now, I think this is ready to go. He says. I don't think that is actually the case at all, because first of all, I need to put some signals here for slowdown. There is track there. Game. Thank you. Don't know what that was all about. And then also down here. So this one, we'll grab off this. We'll say off the back 30 is fine. From the front 15. Not 15, sorry, 10. And then these two, you can actually copy off this one. You can share with that one, and we'll say yours is 15. Just so when they pass, they do slow down. It simulates the fact that there's a passing loop there. Over here then, we need to do something kind of similar. So this one we can copy off this one over here, and then this one can copy off this one over here. Okie dokie. We'll do the same thing on the other one as well, which is all the way over here. In fact, you I think are already done by the looks of it. Yeah. Although you're not quite. Actually, you've sorted yourselves out here, 10 and 20. So I'm guessing you are. We've set something up over here, but I don't like it already. So I'm going to change this. So, because we've got freight over here as well, so we've got to be careful what we choose here. So first of all, I'm going to just reset these. We don't want those. This here, I'm going to say, if your current order is the docks, which is that one, then your speed is going to go down to 15. 10 for the harbour, that's fine. And then coming out of there, this one is if entry direction is from the back. Actually, let's copy from, I think it was this one, yeah. We're going to say 30. To be honest, we could probably say 30 for this one as well. And then this one here can be that if you're going to the port, then slow right down. I am going to move this over to here though. And we're going to copy that from that and remove like so. We'll get a shunt signal here. You're going to copy from that. But again, it's going to be 30 for both. So that's even this one I'm tempted to do 20. Because why would you not? Whoops. I hope I didn't press duplicate or anything there. Don't think I did. No, I did not. Good. Right, now we can remove that one. Anything else I need to do over here? Technically, yes. This one and this one need to copy from... Actually, do they? I can't remember what I've done over here now. Yeah. So I'm going to have these two share. Source and target are the same. Of course they are. Then we're going to say if entry direction is from the back, then speed restriction will be 10. Oops. If entry direction is from the front, then speed restriction will be 15. Okie dokie. Just check this again. I think that's all fine. This one, I think that's just to create a one-way system, which is also fine. Okie dokie. And then down here, I've got to stop saying okie dokie. That's really annoying. Come across here, select you, and then you share with that one. Okay. Yes. Good. So I think then this is ready to start timing trains at least. So I think this, as a flat 30-mile-an-hour limit, for freight it's going to be slightly different. And actually, where does the freight line join? That's over here. Just going to make sure that this is also set. Yeah, so 30. And I think for freight here it would be 30 as well. So I've got to make sure that this one is set to 30-30. I'm not quite sure what this one's set to. Oh yeah, that's just the port one. That's fine. Okay, okay. So this one is, yeah, if you're going into the sidings. So actually this one going into the sidings, I'm almost tempted to slow it down to 20. So I'm going to assume you're one of the three as well. Yeah. I like that idea. I don't know where the third one is. Possibly this side of things. Yeah. Okay, no, I like that. That works quite well for me. So for this one train here, we're ready to set up the timings. I'm going to do the timetabling here first, of course. So we're going to have 1 minute stop times for all of these. And then for the speed limit, it's going to be... To be honest, we can actually just do the speed of the train. That's what I tend to do for most of these. I didn't do it on the Heritage because that's slightly different. But for these, I just do the speed of, maximum speed of the train and then 5 miles an hour in and out of the depot. That's nice and easy. So now we can autofill you. Good. Next. So that's the 50 whatever it was. What was the one I said I was using for the... This is why I took the notes, you see. I'm using a class 415. I should have written down which one. What's the difference? Apart from reliability. Oh, design year. 3 years difference. And 4 passengers, it turns out. I mean, we could use both varieties. They're the same speed. Same tractive effort, same power. So it is just the capacity that's different. So I'm tempted to say we use the older one for this next line. Let's just pin that up there for a second and also pin that. So you are essentially going to copy off this, except out of Sanley, you're going to come up and around this way. Dronding head east, Nod head west, Fort Bintown. I'm actually tempted to do something clever here with the scheduling, or at least the order list. I don't know. It might be a bit too clever for my own good. I don't think there's a station there, so I think this is the next one. I could prove that theory actually. Turn on station names. That appears to be the case. Yep. Good. So after Sinville, there is a stop at New Bunway South, and then down to Genningville Sandbank, where again, far end. We might as well set this up as well while we're here. Pin you, stick you there, and then this can attach to that. Nice. Let's just change this to 2 and then back to 1. Make sure they've all got it. There we go. And then your speed limit, I think, is also 75. Yes? Yes. So again, we'll just change. I don't even know if you actually have to do this, but if you just control click, whoops, I don't need to hold control for this. If you just control click and change the number when it's already got the number there and hit enter, I don't think it enters it for the blank ones still, so I just change it and then change it back. You probably don't even have to do that, but I do it anyway because I like to do that sort of thing. Right, 55 there, that's good. And then we might as well just clone this one. And here we're going right the way back to Dentfield, which is there, and we're moving up to Sinville. So the clever thing I wanted to do was to have this train, because it runs a longer journey through all of this, down here, all the way across to Fluntown. I wanted this one to skip some stops. So still stop at Drondinghead, because that's quite big, but skip Nudhead, and maybe even Fort Bintown. And then stop at Reddinghead. And then, actually, Dentfield's where the tram interchanges. That would have been a good one too. I think I'm just going to have it stop all stops still. I think that's probably for the best. Being too clever for my own good otherwise. Right, Linden Woods. No other stations here from what I can see. Barthingbourne Woods. That's a really horrible name. Datbridge West. Datbridge Woods, sorry. Thought I said west. So that's where it joins up with the tram again. There's a lot of joining up with trams around here, which is kind of the point. And then the harbour here. And then the docks here, where again, far end. So yeah, I'll prove my point here. If I hold control, hit change time. Now watch these ones here. If I just hit enter. Oh, it does do it now. It didn't used to. I promise you it didn't used to. Ah, see, look, it didn't do it there. There you go. So that one hasn't been changed. But the others have, which is okay, actually, because it's the wait times normally that are the ones that I don't enjoy doing. And there we go. So we have 3 trains ready to go. Actually, no, we don't have 3 trains ready to go because I was supposed to use the other ones here, wasn't I? Oh, well, there's actually something else we can do for that. And you'll see what that is in just a second. So, I'm going to do something unorthodox here. I don't normally do this on camera. But I'm going to autofill all of these where we can watch it go. Should we ride on board some trains? Let's ride on board some trains. I'm going to do this as a time lapse though, because otherwise it's going to be quite painful. So, let's do it. And just like that, we have 3 complete timetable schedule things, whatever you want to call them. I need to make a decision now as to how frequently these trains are going to run. Problem is, each one, well, I mean, this is what the timings are for. This is how it's going to be useful. I want at least hourly, if not half hourly. The fact that this train here takes 28 minutes. If I sound out of breath, by the way, I've just run up the stairs to record this bit because I'm an idiot and I don't know why I do things like that. But yeah, I'll get my breath back over time. Don't worry about it. This takes 28 minutes to go round to here and back again. But in doing so, that also includes... That's not what I wanted. I wanted that. There we go. I'll put town names back on. There we go. In doing so, that also includes going to this siding, this depot, this siding, and back. I don't think it actually went to the depot, though. I think it just puts, 74 ticks, which is fine. It means it's always going to be running slightly late, but again, that's fine because it will only ever go to that depot at night. Oh, I need to set this back to the top. Let me just do that real quick. There we go. So I need to go away and have a little think about this, but I think what's going to happen is the Bay Line, whoops, I can turn off super fast forward as well. The Bay Line is going to be half hourly. Then each of these lines is probably going to be hourly. Because the other issue I've got is I only want to use these 3 platforms here. I don't really want to use the train shed platforms if possible. So I need to make sure that there's always a platform free to accept the train coming in, which means with 3 lines, I can only have 1 train for each line in each platform at any one time, if that's the way I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go away and have a think about it. I've got my little spreadsheet set up and ready to go, so I can put all that stuff in. And then when you see me again, hopefully we'll have 3 lines up and running, everything running hunky-dory, and we can start moving on to the other side of this video, which is doing all the mail and things. Some time has passed, and we have all 3 lines set up and working. And when I say time has passed, I mean basically 6 days, I think, since I recorded the last bit. Something like that, something crazy. It's like 3, 4, 5, 6 days. I can't even remember anymore. There's been a reason. There's a very good reason why there was such a long time as this train here departs. It's actually nothing to do with the trains. We'll talk about the reason in a second. It's something to do with something else in Sanley. But yeah, let's talk about the trains. So I mentioned in the last part about it being hourly, the longer services, and the short service being half hourly. That's actually not what's ended up happening. The branch here down to Sennley, that is half hourly. That bit did happen. And the trains meet perfectly at lower dockyards here. And I'm very happy about that. Somehow I fluked it. I do this a lot, actually. Hang on just one second. I need to clear my throat. There we go. I remember to mute my microphone to do that this time. That's good. It's progress from before. I somehow fluke it in openttd. I don't know whether it's a mechanic of the game or what. But if I build a line like this... Yeah, okay, I eyeballed the halfway point, but I managed to make it perfectly so that train comes out of station here, comes up here, and stops. Train coming the other way, passes, and then this train carries on this way and stops here. I believe the wait time, let me get up the timetable, I believe it is 23 minutes. 4:10 to 4:30, yeah, it's 23 minutes. That it sits over here for, and then it leaves, it comes back, stops here, passes train coming the other way, whoops, comes back down to Sanley Central and waits for, wait for it, 23 minutes. I have somehow managed to absolutely fluke this so that the wait times at both ends are exactly the same and the travel time is perfect, spot on. Normally, I would have had to do a little bit of jiggery-pokery here to get it to work. Particularly on the heritage railways, there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Asymmetric wait times. Now, Master Trams is the master of this. That's why he does this for a day job. I'm very much a keen idiot who has no idea what he's doing, and yet somehow I managed to achieve the same result. So I'm very happy about that. The other two lines I said were hourly. They're actually half hourly. So it's not a huge change. But again, we've got... Just getting the right timetable up. We've got 2 trains per hour. Yep, 2 trains per hour on each line. And then they run down here to Dentfield, and then they go their separate ways. And again, I've somehow managed to fluke this so that at Genningville Sandbank, which is this station here, there is a 13-minute wait. When it gets back to Sanley, 5:04, yeah, there is a 14-minute wait. So it's very, very close. Very, very close. Yeah, very close. I don't know where I was going with that. The other train, it gets to its destination at 43. There is a 10-minute wait. It leaves heading back at 53. It arrives at 5:13, and then the next journey leaves at 5:23. So it's a 10-minute wait at both ends, which I'm also very happy about. In terms of the number of trains, there are only 2 shuttle trains on the line at any one time, as you might have seen. And there is a third one in the depot. Again, it's just that little randomness that I like to throw in. For the other 2 lines, it's exactly the same, believe it or not. Built this double track branch line, tried to make it work really efficiently and things like that. I guess we have 4 trains on here rather than just 2. But the fact that we only needed 2 trains to actually run the service, I was tempted, really, really tempted, to add peak hour services to this as well. And have them run every 15 minutes, but only on these 2 lines here, not the branch line, because I don't think that would make much sense. The only reason I'm holding off doing that right now is because I don't want to upset the status quo here. We only have these 3 platforms signalled right now. You may have noticed when I ran the timing train, actually, none of these signals before I ran the timing train had actually been set up properly. So I had an incident where the train here blasted out of the sidings at 75 miles an hour and punched a hole in the back of the buffers here. That last bit is a joke, obviously. But yeah, only these 3 platforms here have actually been configured to accept trains right now. So I don't want to upset the apple cart on that regard. So I think right now I'm just going to not have peak hour services. However, something else that I was working on will have peak hour services. And that's the trams, the Sanley Metro. While I was watching the trains, and I had the game running for a good 5-6 hours, just watching the trains. In fact, you can see now it is 8:30 in the evening in game. It's not 8:30 in real life. It's midday when I'm recording this. But I had this incident where I was watching the trains back and forth here out of Sanley, and I had the departure board open, and all of it, in fact, you can see it now. It's all full of arrived. I was like, what is going on? And then I looked down here and we had this queue of trams. And even here you can see we just have a lot of trams sitting and waiting. And this is something that was bugging me over at Bar City as well. Is this whole thing of just trams waiting. They could be out earning me money right now, but they're literally just sat here. I mean, we are earning money. This has gone up by 100 million since the last part. But yeah, it was really bugging me. So I went and completely rewrote the Sanley Metro timetable. As in, I wrote a Sanley Metro timetable. We didn't have one previously, whereas we do now. So what I'm going to do is implement that first and foremost. So the trains are all done. We can tick that off. I now need to come in and look at this. So one thing I might do, and I might put a cut in here as well just to make this work. It's taken me the best part of a day and a half to actually write this timetable, and I feel like posting a screenshot for what this timetable actually looks like. In terms of an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheet spreadsheet, whatever your flavor of choice is, you know how it works, right? The columns go A, B, C, D, and then when it gets to Z, it goes A, B, A, C. The Sanley tram timetable goes up to column API. If anyone wants to work out how many how many columns that is, I could probably actually work it out if I just select them all. Does it say anywhere? No, I don't think it does. But yeah, API is that one. and that's all individually timetabled services. The Express Metro one, which is these longer trams, in fact there's one just running out now to demonstrate that for me. They need more vehicles. This one goes up to column AAC, so not quite as big, but still pretty big. I used the existing timings from the trams here. I was tempted to send these all to depot and run new timing trams, but I thought, nah, these seem to work okay. I'll just use the existing ones. So we've got, I believe it's 5 conventional tram lines that run out of Sanley. One heads down this way, 2 along this way, and then they split at Deffingbridge, and then 2 along this way, and they split over here at Sennley. One connects up to the harbour here, one connects up to the docklands over here, and then we've got these other ones that sort of just go here, there, and everywhere. One just randomly goes down here. This one connects up the other towns on the little peninsula that we've got here as well. The Sanley Peninsula, as it's now known. I feel like there needs to be another town here, and the rest will all be bus lines, of course, because Sanley also has a huge bus station. The Express Metro goes everywhere. So we have one that comes down to Genningville. You can see it like crisscrossing its way through here. One comes down to the airport. That'll be very important in a moment. One comes out this way to Dapbridge and connects up, with the railway again over here. And one... So that was 3, wasn't it? Yeah, and then the final one comes up this way, connects with the main line over here, with the line coming out of Sanley onto the south coast, and runs up as far as Pranley. Now what I need to work out, and this is the bit where I said I might need to put a cut in here, because I haven't actually worked out how many vehicles I need on each line. I have a feeling, though, there's going to be quite a shift in a second in terms of the number of vehicles required. And I was meant to do this before I started recording, and then I completely forgot. So I'm going to kind of do it live now and hope for the best. Sanley Metro. So first of all, Sanley is going to have a split here. Sanley Metro, Sanley Trams. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention is here, the Sanley Bay Trains is its own franchise right now. It may be incorporated. For example, if you wanted to claim the South Coast franchise or the Southwestern franchise and you wanted to include Sanley as part of that, if you're a high enough tier, you'd be able to do that. But right now, it's its own franchise. The idea being that if someone comes on and just wants to run a little franchise off kind of independently, to be honest, it doesn't really, apart from at Sanley, it doesn't really connect to anything else. I suppose you have freight trains running through here, but besides that, it's very much an independent line. You can come on and do that. You can run your own little line. You don't have to worry about having big express trains or anything like that. You can just do a little wayside shuttle line here and then a couple of little branch lines. Anyway, I'm talking gibberish. We're going to transfer these trams here into a new Sanley Trams category, because that's how I've done this now. I've got Sanley Tram and Sanley Metro. Sanley Metro is still a tram, but it's very much a tram in the way that Metrolink in Manchester is a tram. I think that'll work really, really well. So, I need to look at this. So on oh no, that's the wrong one. Good start. On SM01, the first tram leaves at 6 minutes past 6 in the morning and arrives back at Sanley at 6:41. Then the second one on that route leaves at 6:18, the third one at 6:30, and then the fourth one at 6:42. So I feel like I need 5 trams? No, 4 trams. Because then the fifth one is at 6:54, and if this one gets back at 6:41, yeah, we only need 4 trams operating that route. We currently have 5. So actually, that maths works out pretty well. No complaints here. What we're going to do then is grab this tram. We're going to pin it up in the top corner here. We are going to grab this. Now this is going to become a time lapse, I think, because what I need to do here is change all of these journey times to whole numbers. And the way I've done this for the timetabling as well, which is probably not the best way to do it, but here it's 666 ticks. That's less than 990, which is 30 seconds in this game. So this rounds down to, well, it rounds up, sorry, to half a minute. This one is 1924, which is, quick maths, 56 less than 1980, which is how many ticks are in a minute in this save. So this will obviously round up to 1 minute. Anything between 990 and 1980 rounds up to 1 minute. Anything below 990 is 30 seconds. So all of these pretty much are 30 seconds, except for that one. Now, one thing I didn't do, which I'm kind of annoyed about, is I forgot to include this here, this waypoint, when I was setting this up. Not that it matters too much for daily operations, because the trams only go through it twice in a day anyway, once on their way out of the depot, once on their way back in. But still, kind of annoyed that I forgot to do that. Right then, so before we can get on with the mail side of things, I'm just going to go through here very quickly and redo all of these trams. If anyone ever wants to question the dedication that us content creators have to our craft, that little clip there that flew by in just a few minutes for you, that took over an hour for me to record, and that's not including a couple of other little bits off camera I did before and after. Believe it or not, there are actually cuts in these these sections here as well. I don't think I actually talked you through the frequency of the trams now. That was a mistake on my part. So effectively, there are, if I can get the things up again, on the trams there is a 12-minute frequency, whereas previously I believe it was 10. So now the first tram on the first line leaves at 6:06, the second one leaves at 6:18. I think to combat that, and I actually need to check this because I noticed it on the Express Metro and I couldn't remember if I had it on this one or not. Doesn't appear to be. These are all 30-second stops. Yeah, seems to be the case. I think the trams run slightly later in the day and start slightly earlier to compensate. Plus the fact that there will be buses here eventually that are going to run every like 6 minutes or something. So yeah, every 12 minutes for the trams. That's actually based on the Manchester Metrolink timetable, which I thought was quite realistic when I set it up. Then for the Express Metro, they run every 15 minutes. So the first one on the first line leaves at 6:04, the second one leaves at 6:19. Each line has its frequency as its stopping time at its final stop as well, if that makes sense. So over here at Brodhatton, the tram stops for 12 minutes. Comes in at whatever time, leaves at whatever time. That's a bit of a gap. That's a bit of a gap. I'm hoping that reconfigures itself in a moment. The other thing... What was the other thing? There was something else. Oh, yes, there is one other thing. I'm not going to mention too much as to what this is for right now, but I'm just going to come over here. I'm just going to do that. And that. And I'm going to move this into that one. And I'm going to move this into that one. There we go. Lovely. Right, new category, Sanley Mail. We're going to start now creating the new mail lorries. So first of all, let's get concrete set up here. Before we do anything else, we have technically already got this over here for Sanley. I don't like that. I almost want to move it over this side and have it as its own thing, but I don't want to interfere with the trams. So I think we are going to have it in this area, but we're going to rebuild it slightly. So I don't actually know if Sanley... Yeah, they're not going to let me do anything. What if I planted some trees? Would that win them over? Evidently not. Well, this could go horribly wrong. Okay, good. I'm just going to pause the game so they haven't got time to hate me again. And while they're busy counting their money, I'm going to come through here and I'm going to destroy all of this and we're going to start again. So we're going to do that. We're going to get rid of this road here as well. Excellent. So this here is going to be the entrance to... Really? Gee whiz. This is going to be the entrance to Sanley Central cargo hub, I guess. And actually, the way that it is now is almost still perfect. I think I am going to rejig it slightly still, though. Reason being, if I do this, and then if I do this, and then we come down like that, come down like that. Yeah, the reason I'm going to rejig this slightly is so that I have plans for a mail platform to go along here with trains coming out this way and then onto the express line here, which I think doesn't form a triangle, does it? No. So how it gets to Guard City, it'll have to go up the other line, but it can access both lines from there. That's the main thing. So with the mail platform going in, we need to get rid of this road here. There you go. And that's how this is going to work. So there'll be a new mail platform built here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 should be enough. and then a signal there, and then it'll come across, and then this junction, probably this one here actually, will get moved over slightly, and that will accommodate that. Because of that, this is now set up in a pretty good way, I would say. So we're going to put this here like that. You are Sanley cargo entry and exit, I suppose. Oops, did not mean to close that. There we go. So this is now set up, I would say. We can get trucks running in and out of here now. I was tempted to have this one here as the through road and put the stops on the other side, but I like the idea of it looping around the way it is now. That works fine. I'm happy with that. So the other one, I think we're only really going to have time to set up one today, is going to be over here at the airport. Now, I've been really racking my brain trying to find a good place to put this. Down here was a temptation and have it connect to that. I think over here is what I've decided. For no real reason other than it has access to this road. I could, in theory, still build it either here or over here. Now, Guard City has a sorting office that's actually directly accessed by rail. This is probably going to be Sanley's sorting office with trucks going to all of these towns, picking up and dropping off mail. Literally, even up as far as over here, potentially, because the motorway is somewhere over there. Yeah, it runs into this triangle. So it could, in theory, if that extended northwards, come across this way via a dual carriageway or something. I don't know. Not for me to speculate on today. So the temptation was to build it here. I think, though, I am still going to plonk it over here. And I think that will then still connect up. And it then means we've got full access roads and all sorts. How that's going to work with connecting to this road, I think I'm just going to have to build something that comes around like that. Which is not ideal, to be perfectly honest. But it's the best of a bad situation. Yeah. So we're going to do this, and it's going to come along like this, and then it's going to come in like this. And then here, we're going to have however many truck stops we'll have access to. Yeah, no, I kind of like this, actually, the more I look at it. 3, 4, so that's going to be 5. We need the waypoint there. So if we double this up, that's 10. And then if we do it one more time, that's 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's not right. That's 12. And then if we do it one more time, that's 16. And then if we do it one more time, that's 20. Which means, in theory, we can have 40 vehicles here at any one time. Which I think actually sounds about right in the grand scheme of things. So we're going to make sure that you are connected to that. And you are connected. I'm going to make sure all of these can actually connect first as well. Because if they can't, if we reach the station limit size limit, I should say, it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, no, that works. That absolutely works. And then if we pop... Where's it gone? That one. There. Then we can even put some eye candy around this if we wanted. So if you are airport approach packs, then this one is going to be New Bunway Airport approach cargo. Nice. I'm then going to put this like this, and then we're going to grab this, and we're going to do this. Now I could have put the waypoint there, but I kind of like the idea of it being over here. And it means then we've got this really like janky road that goes around the outside of the terminal. Considering I don't actually know what this building would be. Waiting rooms, I guess, for the bus or something. I don't even know. Does it matter? Probably not. Depot. That's the last thing we need. Now the truck depot is all the way over here. And I believe that is for all trucks that operate in and around Sanley. Because there is a coal mine over here. So if I select you... Yeah. Now we don't want that. That's boring. So let's build a new one. We could probably fit one in. I like the idea of this road being used quite a lot. So I feel like we could fit one in here. That could work kind of cool. And then, yeah, trucks can come down and access. I'm trying to look at the best route for them. I still think it'll be along this road here and then snake its way through to over here and then up onto the main road there. So I like the idea of it being around this area. I think that'll work kind of cool. So let's prep some land. So if we're going to have 40 over at the airport at any one time, we're probably going to need a lot more than that over here. So I'm thinking... didn't know I had a building there. I'm thinking if I do some landscaping, not terraforming, landscaping. I'm never going to fall for that one again, I hope. I think somewhere here would be a good spot for it. If we do this as well. So let's bring this road down. Yeah. Waypoint can go there. And then from here, you've got your roads branching off. If I can get this down as well. Yep. Excellent. Actually, I kind of need to get that down one more. Well, it doesn't matter too much. If we just do it like this. And then your depot can be over at the end there. So if we go something like this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to there. That's a good number, I would say. And then if we did the same on the other side, I guess we could do a twofer here, actually, thinking about it. If we have trucks on one side, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we went out one more, that's 8. Just doing the maths in my head. Whoops. So 8 by 4 is 32. So that's still less than what we've got over here. I was going to say trucks on this side, buses on this side. But that's just 32 stops, isn't it? So that's 64. That's probably enough. Thinking about it. That is probably enough. On this side, we could even come out one more. And then that would make, what, 36? Which would be 72. Which should be more than enough, I would say. Let's try this. So if I go down like this, and then do the same thing here. So you are that, and then same thing here. And same thing here. How does that look? I'd say that's pretty good. What waypoints have we got? One that looks like a depot entrance. I mean, that one is just the obvious one, isn't it? If we just keep using that one. Also, I could use something like this. Cargo road stops. Is there one that's just mail? No. I mean, there's this sort of stuff. Any kind of cargo. That works, actually. I'm just looking to see if I can tart these up a little bit over here. Would they all look identical? Yes, they would. Okay. There's empty ground, which I'm not fussed about. Subway ones, which I'm also not fussed about. I think something like this, but if we just mix it up a little bit. So you can be like that, and then if I don't know, if I place all of them like this, and then we can go through and make it look a little bit different in different spots. So this one can have one like that, and one like that maybe. And then over here we can do a couple like this, and then this one can be some like that, and then over here one like that, one like that, and a couple like that. Yeah, maybe if I put that one like that as well. I'm trying to get rid of some of these forklifts too. That kind of works. And then maybe that. Yeah, that works. And then for the depot over here, we can go with something that looks a little bit like this. Yeah, I like that too. And then we'll put the depot at the end there. And then on this side, what have we got? Guess it's going to have to be like these, right? So that. Oh, you are overlapping. Yes, of course you are. It even says that on the thing. How did I not see that? What can we go with for a design? Something simple. I kind of liked this one. I've got to remember to not do that here. This one, it goes like this. There we go. Sidings. Sidings. And then this one. Sidings. And then here. So I don't think we have any dead end stations, right, for these ones. They're all through ones. So I think maybe here then we just leave it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 32. That makes it 33. So that's 66 buses we can have in here at any one time, which is a pretty good amount still. Well, I would say so anyway. Link all these up. Like so. And then like that. One thing I wanted to put was a border around here, a land border, but I don't think that's going to be possible now, which is unfortunate, but never mind. Actually, I am going to tweak this because I've just realized something. We need these to be accessible from the depot, not the other way around. So I'm going to do that. Which then means this one is going to move to there, 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 and there. And we're going to slice off this line as well. Excellent. So now we can actually come in and repair this terrain slightly. And then, yeah, you can see what I was wanting to achieve here. It's fine. We don't have roads being built by towns anymore, so we don't have to worry about that. So you are Sennley Road Vehicle Depot. That's fine. And then you are Sennley Road Depot. Cool. So we're ready to run buses and stuff here in the future. We're not going to do that today. The other thing, by the way, you saw me set up was peak and off peak. We're going to have rush hour trains, trams, I should say. Trains, we haven't set that up yet. I've got slots on the timetable for the trams as to when they will run. I just haven't set that up, and I'm not going to do that today because I think I've done enough with the trams. I wasn't even supposed to do anything with the trams, and yet I ended up doing stuff with the trams. So, yeah. That was a little trap that I fell into myself. I'm not particularly happy about that, but there it is. What do I want for this? Kind of want something pretty big, right? Because we are... What's the capacity? What's the mail capacity of these planes? 38 bags of mail. These can carry 62. They carry 23. I think it's going to end up being that big truck, you know. Unless we have something like this. 60. 38. Ah, bang on. Bang on. ERFC series. And you can go 56 miles an hour as well, which is kind of cool. So we're going to grab one of you for now. These planes... I was about to click that one. That wouldn't have worked, would it? These planes, I believe, run hourly. Oh no, half hourly. So we're going to have the trucks run half hourly as well. And that should be a good ratio. So you're going to run here, here, here. Then we're going to select this one and we're going to run here, here. After the bottom one there, you're going to run into there and then over here. Yes, we've got to do the waypoints, haven't we? So from here, I don't think I have any waypoints running through town. No. So the first one is there. So I think if we just come down to the docks and hope. So out of... Oh, I've also got to make sure that there, and there. There we go. Might as well set all this up while I'm here as well. So you are going to be no loading, no unloading. This one here is going to be no loading. And then you are going to be service if needed. Yeah, just checking that is all right. I think if we just come down here then, Dreffing Bridge docks, I think that'll work fine for this. And then through this tunnel here, out the other side, over to here. Then you double back on yourself into the airport. Not that one, this one. And boom. There we go. I think then, obviously we've got to do all the journey times and stuff, so I need to autofill that in just a second. But I think if we set all of these to 15 just as a datum, and then possibly, so this one I think I'm going to have it as 10. This one is 5. Actually, both is 10. Maybe this one still is 15. You'll see why in a second. This one here, though, is going to be 30. That one's going to be 30. And I think that's good for all of that. So we can pin all of those now. And then this, your top speed is what, 56? So if we set it as 60 for all of those. But coming out of the depot here, I think I've got it set as 10 on the trams, and I probably should have set it as 5. But I guess it's fine. I need to set this to Sennley Depot Approach. There we go. Just update that. So yeah, coming out of here, that's all fine. And then in and out of this is going to be 10. 10. Oh no, not change time. Not change time. Change speed limit. 10. Out of there is fine. This, the road will do the job for us, so we don't need to worry about that. This one is going to be 10. 10. Coming out of there is fine. Coming out of there is fine. Back into Central. Slow down to 10. And 10. And then this one is going to be 10 as well. Right, let's get this auto-filled. I'll see you again once that's complete. Alright, schedule is filled. We just need to do the final little bit and then we're done for the episode. So this schedule takes 116 minutes, which is 1 hour and 56. But that includes stopping in the depot here for 30 minutes. So I'm going to say that's actually 86 minutes. So an hour and a half, basically. So for 3 trucks, that should be enough to run this entire service, if I've done my maths correct. We'll find out in just a second. I'm going to pin this here. We're going to enable it, obviously. We're going to have you as schedule number 1, and then add, and then Sanley here is going to be schedule number 2. Just thought, have I done this right? The answer is yes, I believe I have. Good. So, schedule number 2, add slot, we're going to start at like 4 a.m. something like that. 4:03, one every half hour, and we're going to stop at 23:33. That is a lot of orders. Yeah, I like it. Good. So now if we have 3 of those, the first one is going to leave the depot. How long does that journey take? About, so what's that? That's a minute. That's 2 minutes. 3.5 minutes. So if we say 5 minutes, actually, if we say 3 minutes and then take half an hour off, that's 3:30, right? So if I do the first one here at 3:30 and then the last one at 4:30, I believe that is 3 departures. Yes. Excellent. That was easier than I thought. So now the whoops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. The final thing to do here is orders. And then this one, go to conditional order jump up to there. When dispatch slot schedule 2, next departure slot is not first slot. And that should, I hope, now run a full service. This is still going to depart at 22:29, so in 1 minute, and then you'll see here how this goes. In fact, this will run a full, yeah, looks like that will run a full one. English, man, what is wrong with me? So we're going to call you SM0, well, actually we can't call you that, SMA01, Sanley Mail. You are road vehicle number 579, which is that one. I'm going to drag you into there. We then need, I'm going to do 4 of you still because I'm always going to do 1 extra just for safety. You'll notice with the Metro, let's close that. Yep, that's fine. With the Metro, the Tram Metro, I didn't change the number of vehicles that we had. Reason being, I just want to check what slots these have been assigned. Yeah, cool. Sorry, I'm distracting myself now. The reason being is I felt as though I'm still distracting myself. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I felt as though it would be easier just to have the rest of them sat in the depot, and then when we introduce the peak services, we can just switch them across. Whichever the bottom one is on the list, that becomes the top one on the peak list. I think that will work out quite well. You'll notice here already, look, we've got less trams now blocking up our lovely stop here. We've still got the capacity. That's another reason why I'm not too fussed if, say, instead of 12 minutes, it sits here for 18 minutes because of the gap between the schedules. I'm not that fussed about that because we have got the capacity. We've got, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 tracks here, which means in theory, I think each one of these can have 2. So we can have 24 long trams and, oh God, I think it's 6 small trams per track if there's 3 here. So we could, in theory, what's 6 times 12? That is 72 off the top of my head. 72 trams sat here maximum, 24 minimum. I'd say that's more than enough space. We could have even shortened this a little bit, but with the city blocks here being 3 tiles, it seems appropriate just to leave it as it is. And like I said, we will introduce peak rail services here in the future. I just haven't added them to the timetable. I only really came up with that idea after I got the trains running. And it was only when I was looking at the trams I was like, oh yeah, I could have done this for trains too. So at some point, I will go back and come up with the idea for it. I forgot to mention as well that the peak trams on the timetable, because they run 15 minutes apart, I've got the peak services leave. What's going wrong there? Something I think is about to change here. the peak services leave 7 minutes after the off-peak services, and then that's 8 minutes before the next off-peak service, which I think makes sense. It's the best way I could find to split it. I would like to show you the timetable on screen, but I think people are going to comment on the fact that some of the order list doesn't really make sense, because particularly for the Metro timetable, the first tram leaves at 6:04 and arrives back at 7:21. The second tram on the next line leaves 3 minutes after the first one, so 6:07. Yep, 6:07 instead of 6:04, but it arrives back at 7:16 instead of 7:21. So we actually have things in slightly reverse chronological order for that. And then when the peak services come in, there are some that actually arrive... What was the problem I discovered? I think it was some arrive back before the next one leaves or something. It was something really stupid. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But there was an issue that I did notice, but maybe it's not as important now because I clearly can't remember what it was. It does work fine. It works functionally, and it will make sense. If you were stood at a tram stop waiting for a tram to arrive, it would make sense what time that tram would leave and then what time you'd get to where it is you're going. So I'm not too worried about that. Is it just because... I think it's just because of the time here, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. Okay. Yeah, that does it for this episode. I need to go edit this now because it's going out. I say it's going out soon. It's going out a week and 4 days from today. So when you watch this, you'll know that I recorded this on Monday, the 10th of March, this section. But I started working on this video before the last video, I think, was finished, if I recall. And I've already started doing some background prep work for next episode, which is us leaving Sanley. We are heading up into Guard City, and we're going to get the HLR running. This is my first proper big test. All the other stuff, the Heritage Railway, stuff like that, that was kind of like a warm-up act. This is the main event. Can I get a fully functioning city centre metro system, 100% timetabled and operational? The answer to that, you're going to have to come back next time to find out. So until then, thank you very much everybody for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series so far. Drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and be sure to check out the Patreon and YouTube membership info down in the description if you want to get involved and help support the channel. Besides that, as I said, enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next time, I'll see you soon.